Oh, little Sony, welcome back. How could I not trust you with my cookie money? I have been testing many other systems, and we've been full on Nikon for the past 3 weeks, and I'm not sure that's my system. Let's rant together.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
All right, so we got a couple tests I want to do throughout this ranty episode. Right now, we're on the A7S III with a 20mm 1.8, a Steinbeck gift. He's reacquired it into my life. I used to have it, kind of miss it. There's no lens hood. Oh, you forgot that one. So my actual 25mm Batis lens hood fits on there. We're doing it, glimmer glass engaged. And the first thing we'll notice, I'm gonna switch to the Zeiss Batis 18mm 2.8 and show you how much worse the Stabe is. God agrees. Sun just went down. And can we enhance it with Topaz Stabe? By the way, inspired by Marcus Pics, I now bring a white piece of paper crinkled up, and the sun will bless us for white balance superiority. I'm pretty sure that's how he does it. Hopefully the autofocus has me this time. I can't believe the Zeiss 55 was losing my ass. I was bragging about how amazing Sony is. It's only been out of focus like 3 times in my entire life. And then it was like hunting back and forth. But I had the speed way up for some reason and the responsiveness. I don't know what kind of experiment that was, but I just left it there for months probably. So we slimmered it down a bit. What if I drove a school bus to your house? So as you might be witnessing, I have to be careful not to brag, but Sony Stabe is kicking Nikon in the face. It's not even funny. Like, Nikon has the worst Stabe. All this time away from Nikon, we're just in standard profile, no log or nothing, but dynamic range boost all the way up to 5. Take that. So Nikon, I've been like staring from across the field, watching reviewers be like, Nikon Stabe's like almost Panasonic level, maybe even better. It's not even close. They have done 0 algorithmic detection work. Panasonic's the only company that has been paying attention to us, saying like, look, your Stabe's really good for telephoto, but when I'm walking, it's all warpy corners, and they worked on it. They developed an electronic rhythm to it, and now it's like eliminated. Panasonic, best Stabe in the business. Olympus was close, but they only make sushi now, and they stabilize the pieces of salmon on their tongue, and no one really cares. It doesn't benefit society. But Sony, it's not great, obviously, but it's better than Nikon, like not even close. But that's with bullshit Sony lenses. You're pretty good. All of a sudden, if I want a nice Zeiss Batis, watch what happens. So let's switch on over to that, and I have a bunch of more rants. Boom. So what you should have noticed is, wow, such 3D pop now. We're both at Tony 4 and have been for the friendly shutter speed of 800th of a second. So beautiful lens. I bought this to replace the 20 because I got obsessed with 3D pop and I ignored every other quality of a lens. And I didn't think Sony would stab Zeiss in the back with the Stabe, but maybe if you're careful. I remember trying to be careful and it was not good enough. Am I correct in that assumption? So if this Stabe is completely unusable, like I think it probably is, I would want to sell this, keep the 20, or buy a new lens. I love buying gear and then testing it and comparing it and then keeping some, selling the rest, and then repeating that cycle, and it's fun. It's fun thinking of what gear is possible that I haven't even heard of yet. Like old lenses that I've, wow, I didn't know that existed. Just researching it and then trying to find a deal somewhere, and it's like, this is fun. And then you find the deal, it's like, oh my God, and then you buy it and it's like, oh, and then you compare it and like, do you have any idea the joy sparked when Steinbeck gave that box over of ZF and the 3 lenses and a bunch of stuff. And I made like 40 videos, it feels like, over the next 3 weeks. Like, that occupied my entire life. And it was joyous. It was fun to see, like, testing all these things. I thought that motorcycle moped thing was a human being. You're not human yet, AI. Okay, let's do a little hard walk here, and then let's switch to Topaz Stabe without active and see if that is possible to be done. How long does it take? Yeah, could be a while. Now you're probably thinking, just use Catalyst Browse. Do you have any idea what that does to the footage? It removes your 10-bit. It takes you down from like 240 megabits per second to 100. It softens it to like 720p, even if you're in 4K. And then it stabilizes it really nice. You only need like 5% crop. It's fantastic. But no. So here's no Stabe, active Stabe, and then the Topaz file. Does it degrade the face? Is it stable? And did it take too long? I don't want to walk into the shade. I want to stay in pretty lighting. All right, let's get to my thoughts here. So you know I love buying gear and searching for it. So obviously I want to buy more things for Nikon. Now that I have the system, I already bought that 85mm 1.2. Thinking of sending that back still debating. Trying to sell it actually. Don't worry about that, that's a side rant for another day. So I'm thinking 24mm 1.4 G lens? That'd be cool. That'd be better than the 17 to 28 and the 28mm 2.8 probably. Replace both those with boom. That or that Zeiss 135 22. But I'm not sure I have faith that Nikon is my woman. I don't know who you are really. I haven't seen anything that shows me that you're better in bed than Sony. I mean, when it comes to color science, I was actually quite shocked when yesterday's video, Nikon versus Sony, with all those different lenses, inside and out, I preferred the Sony in almost every case until we got outside and then you saw the purple skies of hell. I don't know why Sony does that. Purple skies, it's not in my world. I've never seen purple skies anywhere I look, and Nikon was a nice turquoise. It was like a beautiful ocean mist. I was like, hot damn, yeah. So there are some aspects of Sony colors that you don't like, but you could slide, tweak. Ooh, Nikon colors. So like I could just do one little switch in DaVinci and gain 240 frames per second with perfect autofocus, way better stabilization than flippy screen autofocus. I already mentioned. Now I know the Nikon ZF is a photography-centric camera. That's not my fault. When was the first Z6 mirrorless Nikon? 2018? It's been 6 years since you made a full-frame camera with a flippy screen. It took you that long. What are we doing? So it's not my fault that you took that long to catch up and the industry has passed you by. So like, it's a photo-centric camera. Obviously, the video specs are... Everything is so dumb. How's the stabilization, by the way, in this tripod? Don't listen to that rattling phone. A little angry dad test. Timmy, you should never eat your dessert before the math, because then I have to do the math and it hurts. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't miss that delivery. Okay, now we're in active Stabe again. Turned off the Topaz, and I actually have to get somewhere quickly for a top-down lighting portrait shoot. Someone's delivering a scooter that I will review and you will watch it. You will stick through that pain. And I have to be there in 1 minute. But, so like Nikon, I'm just kind of thinking, why invest more in you? I have to wait to see what the Z6 III is all about. And even then, you might match what I already have. And then Sony's gonna double you. That's not a poker game I could ever win. But I like buying gear and it's fun. So what am I gonna do? Buy Sony lenses? I was looking like, what could you even get? The 24mm 2.8 for vlogging? Like, that would be a nightmare, a nuisance. Zero 3D pop. I can't go back to that. I was almost debating the Zeiss 24 to 70. It's actually lighter than the 16 to 35. Get Stabe on the 24 and then 70mm little street videos. But it's terrible lens, apparently. Really bad. And after that Zeiss failed on me so hard, I was thinking, do I need maybe a Voigtlander 50mm Tony 1? Oh boy. And I didn't hate the look of that 90mm macro. What if I upgraded that to the Voigtlander 110mm Tony 2.5? Oh man. Even longer reach and slightly more tonnes. Could you even believe that? I could get both those lenses for just the return money of the Nikon 85mm 1.2. Imagine the joy in that and the pain of missing focus every single video with that Tony 1 50mm, but come on, that'd be fun. So I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be Sony for this stuff, maybe even a ZV-E1 second body, and then wildlife is the only other thing that I crave a smaller system, but more magical. That's leaning Fuji in that one, or even Micro Four Thirds at some point, but that Fuji 500mm prime, if it's somewhat lightweight, it's lighter than my Sony 200-600, I'm all in. Just with an XS20 or something, that would suck. Okay, I have 2 minutes to get there, so we're putting Catalyst Browse on the last one. The image quality has gone down a notch, but we should be pretty stable, even though I'm running 5% crop, of course. That's enough. So, what do you think? What sounds more fun? Manual focus Voigtlander glass or manual focus Nikon glass with no specs whatsoever? What the hell, man? 240p is the truth, and I will never go below that. Any camera that even whispers at something less, you get a hayakubiki chop from me. I'll leave. Are you doing subscribe button?